Assalamualaikum. We from Group 11 will talk about fallacy. This is our group members.
Let's talk about fallacies. So, what is a fallacy? A fallacy is a mistake in reasoning that makes an argument invalid, unsound, or misleading. In other words, a fallacy is an error in thinking that might cause us to accept something false or confusing as if it's true. There are two main types of fallacy, formal and informal. Now, let's look at the first type, the formal fallacy. A formal fallacy happens when there is problem with the structure of the argument, even if the statement seems logical on their own. Here is the logical structure. First, if A, then B. Second, B is true. Therefore, A is true. Let's look at an example. If it's raining, then the ground is wet. The ground is wet, therefore it's raining. This conclusion is actually incorrect because the ground can be wet for many other reasons, like someone washing their car or watering the garden. Next, let's move on to an informal fallacy. Unlike formal fallacy, these are more about the content of the argument rather than its structure. One common informal fallacy is called two wrongs make it right. It suggests that if someone does something wrong, it's okay for us to do something wrong in return. For the example, it's okay to cheat in your exam. Everyone does it. Just because others are doing something wrong does not make it right for us to do it too.
Real word contact. For social, first, Roman argument distort someone word to attack. Second, hasty generalization spread stereotype quickly. For example, judging a group based on one person's behavior. Third, for appeal to ignorance. There no proof vaccines are safe, so they must be harmful. For advertising, first, for appeal to authority. Celebrity promote product they know nothing about. Second, for false cause. This energy drink give you confidence and success. Third, for bandwagon. Everyone buying this, don't be left out.
For education, first, students may rely on emotional appeal. For example, please give me marks, I studied so hard, instead of demonstrating knowledge. Second, some teachers may unknowingly use fallacious reasoning when generalizing student behavior based on incident. Next, for politics, ad hominem attack dominate campaign. Don't trust this candidate, he's divorces. Second, slippery slope fallacies predict extreme consequences from small action. Third, red herrings shift attention from real issue to irrelevant topics.
Now I will be presenting the strengths of the concept of fallacy. Firstly, fallacies promote critical thinking, which is understanding fallacies helps us analyze arguments logically and spot the weak reasoning. For example, when we read an article or listen to a speech, knowing about fallacies helps us ask, is this argument based on facts or emotions? This skill is very useful, especially for students like us who often deal with research and discussions. Second, fallacies empower us against misinformation. With this awareness, we can make more informed and rational decisions. In the world today where fake news spreads fast, fallacy awareness helps us filter out false information and avoid being easily influenced by emotionally charged or biased arguments. Lastly, fallacies improve communication and argumentation. Because when we avoid using fallacies, our arguments become clearer, stronger, and more persuasive. This is especially important when we are writing essays, presenting, or even debating, as it shows we are reasoning carefully and not just trying to win an argument. In conclusion, fallacies may seem like small mistakes in reasoning, but by understanding them, we improve the way we think, speak, and make decisions. It helps us become more mature thinkers, something that is very important not just in academic life, but also in facing real-world challenges.
I will explain about weakness of idea of fallacy. So the first point is fallacies often go to unnoticed Many people do not recognize the fallacy in agreement, especially in casual or emotional conversation. This allows the flow reasoning to the spread unchecked, particularly on social media. So basically, many people don't realize that when fallacy is being used, especially in everyday conversation or social media agreement, it's made easy for incorrect and misleading idea to spread without being questioned. So the next point is actually manipulated by the emotion. Fallacy like appeal to the emotion or ad hominem the target feeling instead of logic. They distract the audience for the evaluation agreement, especially and rationally. So fallacy like appeal to the emotion take advantage of a feeling like fear, anger, sympathy rather than fact of the logic. The last point is not always intentional but still harmful. People often use fallacies unknowing, thinking they are being logical. However, even unintentional fallacy can lead to the misinformation or poor judgment. So sometimes people use fallacy without realizing. They may believe their argument is logical, but actually they are relying on flawed reasoning. Even though unintentional, it is still spread misinformation and cause misunderstanding.
Okay, next we move to the comparison with another philosophical. For Islamic philosophy, the view of reason akal is a gift from God to know the truth. Next, fallacy is considered a logical error equal to sin and moral wrong. And then the purpose of using logic is to understand the religion, follow the Sharia, and act just lie. And then important figure are Al-Ghazali, Ibn Sina, and Ibn Rushd.
Western philosophy, for the view of reason, they think it is a natural human ability to think and discover truth. For the second point, which is fallacy, they think it is a logical mistake, not seen as a sin or moral wrong. For the third one, the purpose of logic is to seek knowledge, truth, and understand the world. So let's see the example of the important figures are Plato, Aristotle, Descartes, Kant, and Hume.
That's all from us. Thank you.